Lucky Luke, it was hot in town, very hot. It seemed global warming was finally happening, and we all had to adapt. In my own little way, I was doing just that. My long hair was far too uncomfortable in the sweltering heat, and so for the first time in 5 years, I was going to get it cut. The barber's, Jimmy's, was empty. Jimmy himself was sitting on one of the chairs, reading a newspaper. He looked up as I walked in. "Yes?" he said, warily. Aye." His small eyes narrowed. "Are you from the press?" he said. "Because if you are, you can clear off now." I stared at him. "I just want a haircut," I said. He looked surprised. "You do?" he said and jumped up. "Take a seat. I'm sorry, I've been having a few problems with reporters," he said. The phone started ringing. Jimmy ignored it. "That's probably one of them now." The phone continued to ring. Jimmy sighed. "Just sit down. I won't be a minute." I sat in the red leather seat and looked at my reflection in the mirror. 5 years, I thought. The hair was down to my shoulders, thick, dark, and wet with sweat. From the other side of the bead curtain, I could hear Jimmy's voice getting louder. "And I've told you, no comment. Yes, no. That's none of your business." I looked along the shelf in front of me, at the sink and shower, the combs and scissors, at the newspaper. The tabloid headline said Jimmy's, the worst barber in Britain. Next to it was a photograph of the man himself, the man I was about to let loose on my hair. I heard Jimmy slam the telephone down. He burst into the room and caught me looking at the newspaper. His face fell. "You don't want to believe everything you read," he said. "Maybe," I said. "But it's a long story," he said. "I'll tell you while I'm cutting your hair. If you don't like it, I won't charge," he added. It was a good offer. "Go on then," I said. He fixed the nylon coverall round my neck. "How would you like it?" he said. "I can't wash it, I'm afraid. Water shortage and all that." "I just want it nice and cool," I said. "Short then," he said. "How short?" I wasn't sure. "I'll tell you when to stop," I said. As he lifted my hair with the comb and snipped with the scissors, he seemed to know what he was doing. So far, so good, I thought. "Right then," he said. "You want to know why the papers called me the worst barber in Britain?" "I did wonder," I said. "It's all because of my brother," he said. "Lucky Luke." From the way he spoke his name, I could tell Jimmy didn't think much of his brother. 4 years younger than me he is, and lucky since the day that he was born. When we were kids, he always beat me at board games. Ludo, snakes and ladders. The dice always landed on whatever number he needed, you know what I mean? And football, he was always scoring the winning goal. That's the sort of bloke he is. Lucky. He stopped cutting. "How's that?" he said. "Shorter, please," I said. Jimmy started snipping again. "I mean, take the way he looks. You'd never know we were brothers. He got Mum's little nose and chin and her thick hair. What did I get? Dad's big nose and receding hairline and Mum's piggy eyes." He stopped again. "What about that?" he asked. My hair was still not short enough. It was the sort of haircut that politicians and vikers have. Besides, I wanted to hear more of the story. "A bit more off the sides, I think," I said. "As a teenager, I had various jobs," Jimmy continued. "Paper round, Saturday work in a butcher's, washing cars. Not Luke, though. He was so good looking he got modeling work, didn't he? Sweets, jeans, you name it, he's advertised it. He made a fortune, though nothing compared to what he's earning now." Jimmy added bitterly. He stopped once more. "How about that?" I looked up. For the first time in years, I could actually see my ears. What was more, they felt cool. "Just a bit more off the top and front," I said. Jimmy lifted and snipped. "Of course, Luke inherited Mum's brains. She's a clever woman, our mother. She could have been, I don't know, a lawyer, a doctor, anything." He paused. "A bit more," I said. "It's so unfair," he went on. "I had to work really hard just to be average, while Luke passed every exam he ever took without doing a thing." Jimmy shook his head. "Life for Luke is just one big game," he said. "And now, of course, he's hit the jackpot." Deep in thought, Jimmy continued to cut my hair on the top until my parting disappeared, and it started to stand up. "I wouldn't mind," he said, "but his fame and fortune are all thanks to me." Jimmy picked up the mirror and showed me the back of my head. "Well," he said, "can I or can I not cut hair?" "You can," I said. "But," he laughed, "you'd like it a bit shorter." "At the back and sides?" I said. Jimmy talked above the buzz of the clippers as he cut my hair very short. He explained how Lucky Luke had come to him and told him that he needed to look good for an audition. Apparently, he'd been out having dinner with his beautiful girlfriend when a TV producer had seen him. "You could be perfect for a part we're casting," the man said. "Come for an audition tomorrow." He had given Luke his card. "This time," said Jimmy, without even trying, Luke was about to get a top acting job. I was determined that for once he would fail. I gave him the worst haircut in the world. I laughed nervously. "What was it like?" I said. Jimmy switched off the clippers. "Have you ever watched Time Rider?" he asked. "You bet," I said. "It's brilliant." Time Rider was a new series on telly. It was about a joyrider called Bo, whose whole life is turned upside down when he drives off in a stolen time machine. Each episode was fast, exciting, and Bo himself was really funny. He was this tall, young bloke with the worst haircut in the world. "Bo Danton's your brother," I exclaimed. "Also known as Luke McDonald," said Jimmy. "Yes, that's him. Hard to believe, I know." I laughed. Jimmy had certainly had fun with his brother's hair. It looked as though it had been cut with a knife and fork. "So he got the part despite the haircut," I said. "He got the part because of the haircut," said Jimmy. "The producer said that it looked absolutely marvelous. He said it reflected the inner chaos of the character." "But did Luke thank me?" "Oh no." Jimmy shook his head. "I'll never forgive him for what he did. Anyway," he asked, "are you happy with your hair now?" I examined myself in the mirrors. The haircut was fine. I could feel the breeze from the open window on my neck and ears. "Nice and cool," I said. "So you're going to pay, are you?" said Jimmy as he brushed me down. "Of course I am," I said. As he was searching for change in his nearly empty till, I asked the obvious question. "What did he do?" Without looking up, Jimmy pointed at the newspaper. "See for yourself," he said. I picked it up and began reading. The whole article was about Bo Danton's haircut. One sentence had been circled in blue ink. When asked about his hair, Luke laughed. "My brother's a barber. I think this is his idea of a trim." "You're the first person who's been here since then?" said Jimmy. The newspaper was over a week old. "And do you know the odd thing?" he said. I shook my head. "It should all be different. I thought people would come here to get a haircut, like the great Bo Danton. I could be rich now. But it didn't work out like that. Some people are born lucky, and some people aren't," he said, "and there's nothing you can do about it." As I was leaving, an old man and two boys passed me at the door. I turned to Jimmy. "Maybe your luck's turning," I said. "I doubt it," he said. Outside, the hot sun hit the back of my neck and the tips of my ears. I thought about Lucky Luke and realized that Jimmy was probably right. Unlike the weather, some things in this world can't be changed. Nouns 1. Global warming, the gradual increase in Earth's temperature due to greenhouse gases. 2. Barber, a person who cuts and styles hair, especially men's. 3. Newspaper, a publication containing news, articles, advertisements, and other information. 4. Reporters, journalists who investigate and report on news stories. 5. Leather, material made from tanned animal skin. 6. Reflection, an image seen in a mirror or reflective surface. Shoulder, the joint connecting the arm to the torso. 8. Curtain, a piece of fabric that hangs over a window or opening. 9. Comment, a statement that expresses an opinion or reaction. 10. Business, commercial activity or trade. 11. Shelf, a flat surface for storing or displaying items. 12. Sink, a basin with a water supply and drain, typically in kitchens or bathrooms. 13. Scissors, a tool with two blades used for cutting. 14. Comb, a tooth device for arranging hair. 15. Tabloid, a small format newspaper with sensational news. 16. Headline, the title of a news article. 17. Bloke, informal British term for a man. 18. Nose, the facial feature used for breathing and smelling. 19. Chin, the part of the face below the mouth. 20. Politicians, people professionally involved in politics. 21. Vicars, clergy members in certain Christian churches. 22. Teenager, a person aged between 13 and 19 years. 23. Butcher, a person who prepares and sells meat. 24. Sweets, confections or candies. 25. Jeans, pants made of denim. 26. Brains, the organ in the head responsible for thought and control. 27. Lawyer, a professional who practices law. 28. Jackpot, a large cash prize, often in a game or lottery. 29. Fame, the state of being well known. 30. Buzz, a continuous humming sound. 31. Clippers, a tool for cutting hair or trimming. 32. Audition, a trial performance by an actor or musician. 33. TV producer, a person who oversees the production of television programs. 34. Casting, the process of selecting actors for roles. 35. Character, a person in a story, play, or movie. 36. Article, a piece of writing included in a newspaper or magazine. 37. Trim, the act of cutting something to make it neat. 38. Weather, the state of the atmosphere at a particular place and time. 39. Ludo, a board game for 2 to 4 players. 40. Ladder, a structure with steps for climbing. 41. Dice, small cubes with numbers used in games. 42. Shortage, a lack of something needed. 43. Nylon, a synthetic material used for making fabrics and plastics. 44. Coverall, a one-piece protective garment. 45. Sort, a category or type of something. 46. Snakes, limbless reptiles. 47. Knife, a tool with a sharp blade for cutting. 48. Fork, an eating utensil with prongs. 49. Chaos, complete disorder and confusion. Verbs. 1. Adapt, to adjust to new conditions. 2. Own, to possess something. 3. Narrow, to reduce the width of something. 4. Ignore, to deliberately pay no attention to something. 5. Continue, to keep doing something without stopping. 6. Sigh, to exhale deeply and audibly. 7. Snip, to cut with short, quick strokes. 8. Beat, to strike repeatedly. 9. Land, to come down and rest on a surface. 10. Score, to gain points in a game or competition. 11. Pass, to move past or go by something. 12. Shake, to move back and forth or up and down quickly. 13. Disappear, to cease to be visible. 14. Explain, to make something clear or understandable. 15. Reflect, to cast back light, heat, or sound. 16. Forgive, to stop being angry at someone for an offense. 17. Examine, to look at something closely and carefully. 18. Brush down, to clean something with a brush. 19. Pick up, to lift or collect something. 20. Realize, to become aware of something. 21. Look up, to search for information or raise one's eyes. 22. Pause, to stop temporarily. 23. Go on, to continue. 24. Hit, to strike with force. 25. Mind, to care about or be bothered by something. 26. Catch, to capture or seize. 27. Fall, to move downward, often rapidly. 28. Offer, to present something for acceptance or rejection. 29. Stand up, to rise to a standing position. 30. Switch off, to turn off a device. 31. Determine, to decide or establish something. Adjectives. 1. Lucky, having good fortune. 2. Uncomfortable, causing discomfort. 3. Sweltering, uncomfortably hot. 4. Surprised, feeling or showing shock because of something unexpected. 5. Thick, having a large distance between opposite sides. 6. Wet, covered or saturated with water. 7. Perfect, without any flaws. 8. Nervous, anxious or worried. 9. Brilliant, very bright or intelligent. 10. Obvious, easily understood or clear. 11. Determined, firmly decided. 12. Piggy, resembling a pig, often in being small or fat. 13. Various, different from one another. 14. Modeling, related to posing for art or photographs. 15. Loose, not tight or firmly fixed. 16. Nylon, made of synthetic nylon material. 17. Fixed, securely attached. 18. Deep, extending far down from the surface. Adverbs. 1. Bitterly, with strong negative emotion. 2. Actually, in fact or really. 3. Absolutely, completely or totally. 4. Apparently, as far as one knows or can see. 5. Certainly, without any doubt. 6. Probably, likely to happen. 7. Nervously, in an anxious manner. Phrasal verbs. 1. Walk in, to enter a place, often unexpectedly. 2. Clear off, to leave quickly. 3. Jump up, to rise quickly from a sitting or lying position. 4. Bite off, to remove by biting. 5. Go on, to continue doing something. 6. Pick up, to lift or collect from a lower position. 7. Switch off, to turn off a device. 8. Slam down, to put something down forcefully. 9. Burst into, to suddenly start doing something. 10. Look up, to search for information or raise one's eyes. 11. Stand up, to rise to a standing position.